We're going to be talking about the Masonic context of the Red Revolution of 17 in Russia, 1917, as well as the events that led up to it. And they saw the autocracy as archaic, and orthodoxy was backwards to them, and they wanted to implement this Enlightenment era mandates. And it was said that orthodoxy strengths were deeply in the rural parts. They had a very big rural presence, and they were ritually embedded in daily life. They had national identity tied to it, and they were mystical. They're the more mystical sect of ecclesiastical Christianity. So in the East, it resonates a lot with the peasantry, and it has, how Catholicism has an upward seeming importance. Well, the Eastern Orthodox is very mystical in some senses, and it gets a lot of resonance from the peasantry. But it was said that the weaknesses were institutionally subordinated to the state. As I said, there was this chain of command that made them appear as a government apparatus rather than appearing as independent. And in comparison to, we can compare it to the last series I just spoke about, the Cristero War and the Masonic influence of that. And what was happening was the government, this authoritarian militaristic government appeared in contrast of this state church apparatus, or separate from state church apparatus. And it changed that dynamic. But here, the orthodoxy and the autocracy were intertwined so deeply that it began, despite the strengths, it started to, with the intelligentsia, they were seen as compromised and not capable of revolution because of that mechanism. And as I said, they were unable to mediate like other European revolutions had for moral framework at tumultuous times. And there was, in addition, there's poor clerical education in many regions, and there's perception of formalism over moral leadership. So it might have been seen that they're more, focus on, what's the word, stodgy? I forget the word, but they're more stuck up in some senses rather than being, moral leaders like